It's unclear for the families of Israeli hostages still held by Hamas. As we saw in last night's protests all over Israel, a lot is at stake. They're trying to see if they can make the United States put saving these hostages as a top priority. Now that they're persuaded that the Israeli government is simply moving ahead without that, leaving the hostages behind in a concerted fashion. Netanyahu has promised that this is the week that the massive assault will begin on Gaza City. This is something that the Israeli army has warned against, not just in terms of the hostages' lives, but in terms of the burden on the Israeli army, in terms of what sort of very long, months long at least, commitment from the Israeli army this will require. So part of these discussions are going to be about does the United States still give Netanyahu a free hand, basically to do as he wishes in Gaza? And I know that in the United States, of course, the question of U.S. weapons being used for this war has become more and more controversial, even among members of President Trump's base. The other question that will arise, but hasn't really been mentioned publicly yet, is about the West Bank. Prime Minister Netanyahu has even signed a document promising some sort of partial annexation of the West Bank and construction in the West Bank that would obviate a Palestinian state. Now, Secretary of State Rubio comes here having had meetings with the Qatari leadership. The United Arab Emirates, a neighbor of Qatar, or sometimes rival of Qatar, that does have diplomatic ties with Israel, has said flat out that if Israel in any way annexes or declares sovereignty or takes any step towards appropriating the West Bank, they will consider that a violation of the Abraham Accords, whose 5-year anniversary is tomorrow, and that's considered President Donald Trump's top foreign policy achievement for his first term. So I expect also Israeli action in the West Bank will also be discussed with Marco Rubio.